Simon, can you talk us through how you've handled the week and how you've taken in all the events that have happened?
Yeah, obviously the week was disappointing. I think Max summed it up really well and said it was embarrassing for everyone that's involved in our footy club. We worked really hard to build what we've built internally, and obviously externally that's shown out on field. But as I've said to the players, culture's never perfect, and these things will always come up, and it's what you do about them, how you react to them, how you learn from them, and how you get better. And that's what we've done internally as a playing group. It's been a great chance to reset ourselves as a playing group internally about what we really want to stand for and continually stand for, and use this as a lesson to get better. And that's always what it is. Culture's never complete. It's never finished. It's always ongoing, and you've got to nurture it. You've got to continue to remind yourself about what's important.
Just on the incident, I just wanted to ask, I'm sure you don't want to refer to too many specifics. It sounded like Jake was sort of standing.
Sorry, just cutting out there.
Sorry, Simon. Just on the incident, it sounded like Jake was standing up for his teammates. Did you like that?
I don't tolerate violence in any form, and I don't think anyone does, and that's why the sanctions were in place. But we have worked really hard to build respect for each other within our environment, and how we talk to each other, how we recognise each other, how we celebrate each other is really important. So if that's how the conversation started in and around that topic, it's a worthy conversation to have and a worthy topic to talk about. But I think in the end, the details of what's taken place have been done to death. Alan Richardson's spoken at length about it. Max Goodwin's spoken at length about it. So I think the details are pretty public. It's really about what we've gained from it, how we move forward, and how we get better.
So I guess you and the club in the past with Stephen's previous incident 3 years ago talked about the work he'd done to come back from it. How much work is he going to have to do to, I guess, not be back in the fold, but to come back from this incident and to maybe bring along some of those teammates on the road, because clearly there's a fair bit that's happened there.
Yeah, look, he's Stephen's done a lot of work on himself personally over a long period of time. We're really proud of how far he's come as a person, and he is a quality person, and he's made a mistake, and he'll continue to work on himself. But he has enormous trust and respect within our playing group. He plays the game in a certain way. He's worked really hard with our younger players to develop them. He's got great standing within our playing group, and he'll continue to do that. He knows that he's let them down and he's broken some trust and within the playing group, and he'll work hard to build that back up. But knowing the character of Stephen, he'll go about that in the right way.
Simon, the penalty for Jake Melksham, the community service. Max on Wednesday couldn't tell us exactly what that community service will entail. Can you shed some light on exactly what that penalty is? And do you feel that that's enough, or should he have also got week suspension, considering it was a one-punch hit? The community doesn't stand for one-punch hits. People die from one-punch hits, and yet all he's going to have to do is community service.
Yeah, we're still working through what that looks like and what the sanction, in terms of the community service looks like. We're serious about not tolerating violence, and community service should be done in the right way, and we certainly understand that. We have a role to play within that, and we don't tolerate it for one minute, just like no one in the community should.
Just on Jake's injury as well, I understand that he has gone in for surgery, but a surgery for an infection seems a little bit odd. Can you shed any more light on exactly what that hand injury is?
Yeah, he's got a pretty bad infection, so he's had it washed out once under surgery, and he had it again yesterday. So he's had 2 doses of surgery. It's been washed out twice. The infection was pretty bad, so he's definitely going to be unavailable for selection this week. So he'll miss this week no matter what. So he's gone in twice. So it is a serious infection, one we need to get on top of.
There's no break at all?
No.
Simon, you spoke about culture, and you've been around footy clubs a long time. How do you ensure this doesn't have an adverse effect when you're trying to go back to back and you're working towards a goal? Is it something we've really put it on the table, addressed it? How do you go about it?
Yeah, look, we address it. That's the thing about culture. There's going to be mistakes, and there will be behaviours that you don't want to tolerate, and you will have to address them. And we have, we've addressed it. We've given the sanctions out, and we'll move forward and learn from it. But In terms of the incident, it doesn't mean that our playing group don't love and care for each other. I've got 4 brothers, and I've had a fight with all of them. Doesn't mean I don't love and care for them. I do, and we don't tolerate violence one iota, but this incident isn't going to define our playing group. They're united, they're committed to the cause, they know they've made a mistake, and we'll learn from it and get better and move forward. And hopefully in time people will see this as a real galvanising time for us, where we've come together as one and continued our pathway forward to what we want to achieve.
What have you made of the fresh revelations today about the meeting between your club and the AFL about you last February?
To be honest, I'm not interested in it. It's an irrelevant story. Gary Pert is the complete man of integrity. I've got no behavioural issues. Gil McLaughlin and Richard Gordy do a fantastic job at running our competition, and if you guys can join the dots in between all that, then you guys go for it. But it's a completely irrelevant story to me and our footy club.
So you're just talking about culture. You're confident there's not a culture problem at the club from the CEO?
As I said, you join the dots and work out where it's coming from.
Simon, the AFL Integrity Department is investigating the incident on Sunday night. Do you think they should have perhaps stepped in a little bit earlier?
I think it's standard procedure. The AFL always look at the clubs and get all the information, and they form an integrity unit that will investigate what that looks like. So I think it's just normal process, and we're supportive of that.
When did Melbourne report this incident to the AFL and the Integrity Department?
As soon as we found out, we reported it to them as soon as we got all the information ourselves, and which is standard process for any club. And the AFL and the Integrity Department will work closely together to make sure it's all okay.
Simon, does Stephen May need to have basically like a boost band for the rest of the season, or perhaps his career? Would that be one way to sort of negate some of it, perhaps this issue?
We'll work with Stephen around his personal situation. It's certainly not something for the public domain. Stephen's a quality person. He's worked really hard on himself, and he'll continue to do that. But what I do know about Stephen is he will continue to build the trust and do whatever it takes to help this footy club and to help this playing group moving forward.
So it seemed a pretty consistent theme of anything that's come up this week is around maybe, I don't know if it's a divide or with players who did play in that grand final win last year and players who didn't. Obviously last year you very much had that sort of collective feel about the team that went on to win it. How do you address that? Because it has come up, whichever thread you look at, people have been talking about players who played in that flag, players who didn't. How do you handle that and maybe move forward? That hasn't been a topic of conversation internally. All I can talk about is what happens internally, not what people say externally. Internally, as I've said, they're incredibly united, and the people that didn't play in the Premiership last year are fully committed to try and improve and get better and be involved in something pretty special moving forward. So that's the challenge for everyone. There's no divide, they're united, and we'll continue to forge ahead and try and do something pretty special.
Guys, if we look ahead to the game now, we haven't got too long left.
Pretty big game, guys.
Yeah, one on the game, I guess. Christian Petrarca's comments earlier in the week about crowds, and he had a go in effect at Melbourne supporters not turning up to games and just saying hard to perform when they're not playing in front of a big crowd. What are you expecting for Monday? Do you reckon Melbourne supporters will respond, or are they going to be cashing in on the good snow at the moment?
Well, it's a Collingwood home game, so we'll hope to get as many Melbourne supporters there on top of that as possible. So hopefully we'll get a massive crowd. This is a great cause. MND and Neil Danaher has done an incredible job to help fight this disease, and we play a really important role in that. And Neil's someone that has made our footy club proud to belong, and that's what we need to do as a footy team, is to play the game in that manner and make our members, supporters, everyone involved in the Melbourne Footy Club proud to belong. And there's no bigger stage than Collingwood on this day.
Simon, how do you get back to your best? It's a simple question, but have other sides worked you out in the last couple of weeks, or is it more about the game that you haven't played and the style that you haven't played the way you'd like?
Yeah, look, we're not that far away. We gave ourselves opportunities to win last week. We didn't execute 4 to centre. We need to get better at that. We think we're in a position where we continue to find a better version of how we're playing. But in reality, we're doing a lot right. We sit in a really strong position. We've got great foundations in the season, and I'm looking forward to seeing our playing group respond, our footy club respond, and get ourselves back playing some outstanding footy.
Last couple, guys.
After a tough week, Simon, how good will it be to get on the tools and get out there and play footy?
Can't wait. Looking forward to it. It's what we're here to do. We're not here to sit here and talk about some of the stuff that's going on. We're here to build a really strong footy club and perform really strongly on game day. And we've got a steely resolve about our playing group and everyone involved in our footy club, and we're looking forward to it.
Can I just ask about Sam Wiedemann? Have you had a chat to him, or will you have a chat now that with Tom McDonald out the stage, it's possibly set for him to have a real crack at the latter half of this season and cement his spot, Simon?
Yeah, look, Sam's really clear on what we want him to work on, and he's working incredibly hard around his aerial game and being that real presence for us inside forward 50. So, Sam's he's going to get some good opportunities in the back half of the year, and we'll get a chance to have a look at him in that time, and he's really clear on what he needs to work on. So we're looking forward to seeing that.
Thanks, Goody.
Thanks, guys.